Welcome, I'm Void Dude. And are you sick of waking up in the verse's most manky and dodge operating theatre with a blinding pain in your lower rear torso, probably due to the stolen kidney, and without a single bloody credit to your name? No, just me? Well then, welcome to the most morally reprehensible gameplay of Star Citizen to ever grace YouTube. The idea here is to start at Grimhex with nothing. No weapons, no gear, no armor, no credits, nothing except the blood-stained hospital gown we woke up wearing in Hannibal's kitchen nightmare, with the goal being to see if we can make some kind of progression in the game by abusing the good nature of players with the misfortune of being on the same server as us. So to put it simply, it's like those zero to hero videos other YouTubers make, you know, the ones with souls and morals, except we're a pirate with nothing to lose. My sincere apologies to those who I have harmed and am about to harm during the making of these videos. I'm sure you would understand. Actually, that. Let's think of it as providing free experience to players for when the upcoming features come online that enable piracy to become a more feasible pastime within Star Citizen. Those features being the cargo refactor and better persistence, among others. I don't think many players realize just how much more viable, lucrative, and satisfying playing as a pirate in Star Citizen will become once those few features make it into the game. For now, however, let's begin. After about 30 minutes of asking in chat for a lift from Grimhex all the way to Everest, I finally got an offer from someone to give my murderous hitchhiking ass passage aboard their Cutlass Red. They were even kind enough to give me an undersuit and helmet, leaving me to be an absolute noob for running around in my medical gown. I mean, they're not wrong. After takeoff, I immediately notice he has a cargo container that I open to see if there's anything I can take, like a knife or a gun, to make this easier. Sadly, that's not quite how inventories work in Star Citizen just yet. They're instanced, so I cannot interact with this Good Samaritan's items in his storage. I only see a version of my own items, which in this case is nothing at all because I've not stored anything on his ship or this container. Anyway, the journey from Grimhex to Everest can take upwards of 5 minutes depending on the speed of your quantum drive, so I was betting that anyone I asked to help would eventually get out of the pilot seat to have a walkabout. As luck would have it, that time was right now. I took the opportunity to provide an unnecessary Heimlich maneuver on my new friend and immediately attempted to loot his corpse as if this was a game of Diablo 2. Unfortunately, however, this is not Diablo 2. This is early access Star Citizen. Clearly we had desynced. Not to worry though, I'm a professional with a plan. I'll get into the pilot seat, pull the ship out of quantum before we enter monitored space, then quickly get out of the seat to ensure the target is subdued. And go. Turns out being a pirate with nothing to lose can sometimes be a bit weird, because this time around, after asking for a lift in chat for literal ages, no one was biting. I figured perhaps Grimhex to Everest was a bit too far, so I changed the destination to Port Olisar, and finally someone came to assist in another Cutlass Red. But Olisar was way too close, and we were already in monitored space and in an armistice zone before I could even do anything pirate-like. So I was forced to just kind of say thank you and awkwardly leave as quickly as I had boarded. This is kind of like ordering an Uber by mistake and then you just go on the ride regardless. Finally, a proud pilot of a Hercules answered the call. He insisted I wear the noob suit and helmet or I'd die when we got to the cold vacuum of space when landing at Everest, so I put it on to keep the mark happy. Interestingly, my new friend seemed to already be getting harassed by someone at Grimhex. I was not quite sure if we were the bad guys in this situation, but I was thoroughly unable to assist by totally misremembering where and how to turn the turrets on in the Herc. Oh well, who gives a f***. The pilot eventually got us on our way. However, after some time it became clear he was not getting out of his chair, so I had to come up with some rubbish excuse to get him out and into a position where I could attempt to do a takedown. I did what any badass pirate would do to lure a target out. I pulled off the lie of the century by saying that I had gotten stuck in his escape pod and I needed him to try drag me out.
Surprise, motherfucker!
All that time I'd spent giving random people hugs from behind at bars for no reason had paid off. I looted his kit and commandeered the ship. With my new crime stat, armor and Hercules, it was time to set a course for Crusader and start some missions to make that sweet space bank. But before that, a quick stop at Caria to see if we could luck out on some guns and ammo. Being better geared will allow us to choose from more missions like bunkers, for instance, and defend ourselves from potential bounty hunters if we're ever caught on foot. It turned out that stealing this Hercules had caused a bit of paranoia in global chat. The previous owner of the ship started mentioning that I was working with people around Grimhex to bait people out of the station. This led to a pretty amusing flame war, but I just kept quiet. I had a video to make after all. One thing I always wonder when disembarking into space like this is, where is all the zero-G FPS combat? When I was a lot younger, I remember playing a game called Klingon Honor Guard. Do any of you remember that? Nothing was cooler than throwing your duck-tag at the enemies in zero-G levels of that game and seeing the blood spill into space and float around like little macabre helium balloons. I do hope CIG have some awesome scenes lined up for us like that in Squadron 42. It took me way too long to finally find a pretty decent box at Caria. P6LR is a beast of a sniper rifle and the BR2 shotgun isn't too bad either. Kitted out, it was time to go. Yes, that's the sound of the engines going off. Someone is literally trying to steal my stolen ship while I'm bloody well in it. What the f*** is going on? Dude, what are you doing?
Engines on. Attack on shields.
Nice try, asshole SX. Pretty sure that's how you say that name. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I mean, come on, how low do you have to be to steal a spaceship in this game? I fancied myself quite well off now and it was time to take on a mission. The mining claim sentry missions seem to be quite difficult sometimes, or bug out quite often, so I wasn't really up for that. The array hack was out of the question since I didn't have a crypto key, and remember, this is a 0 credits run, so I cannot just go to Grimhex and buy that stuff. But I probably could have gone and sold some of my gear to afford a crypto key, but the thought honestly never crossed my mind. So, last steps it was. Time to head to the wreck and find the remains of an NPC named Uldar Jane to confirm his death. Simple. This Hercules is serious overkill for missions like this. You don't really realize it until you try it, I suppose. It really gives credence to the idea that larger ships aren't suited to be daily drivers or something you should necessarily be doing small-scale solo content in. Now, I know what you're thinking. How could you be so stupid, Void? Well, in my defense, these bloody laser trip mine things barely worked when they came out, and I 100% believe that there was zero chance that this thing was going to kill me, even though I was being pretty damn reckless. Anyway, that's me, the Dread Pirate Void, the worst pirate in the verse, brought low by a box with a little buggy bomb attached to it. I did try to keep this life going and held out for a while to see if anybody would come and try to rescue me, but the guy whose Hercules I stole started yelling in general chat that no one should come near me. It felt rather rude. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I've been Void, and I'll see you around the verse. Cheers.